The first prototype was built in 1957. Two-thirds the size of the final design and built in aluminium, the little car went by the title of E1A. This film sequence is more important than one might otherwise have thought. The car itself was broken up and scrapped in 1959 or 1960 and was seen by only a tiny handful of people outside the factory development departments. It was thought that only still photographs had survived, but 3 separate pieces of film have come to light, allowing us to see E1A as it really was. With its 2.4-litre engine, the car was capable of 130 miles an hour, thanks to the lightweight, slippery bodywork, bare of bumpers, grille and even headlights. The style of the D-Type's hinge-forward bonnet was carried forward on this prototype, and you can see the split between bonnet line and lower front wing, with the D-Type's external bonnet latch handles above it. All the elements of the full-scale E-Type can be seen here, even at this early stage. Elegant, almost complete, and yet based on original ideas created by Malcolm Sayer and his colleagues on the back of a fag packet, as one of them put it. The test driver on almost every occasion was Norman Dewis. In May 1957 he records, "Running E-Type at Myra, 40 miles an hour gale blowing." Dewis tested a car built, like most prototypes, in Spartan style. It was constructed aircraft fashion, with its aluminium bodywork riveted together. Later on, attractive tapering side screens were to be added. Handling was a major preoccupation for Dewis in these early days of testing. Not only was the car capable of that 130 miles an hour top speed, it also accelerated from 0 to 60 in 10.5 seconds and would pull away in top gear from as low as 10 miles an hour. Another test was carried out on the 13th of June and was filmed as usual by Bill Large. Dewis reported that the car felt very twitchy and feels as though it is being steered from the rear. The Myra steering pad exposes the relative twitchiness of the small car. Its short length must have made things much worse, but a great deal of work was carried out over the coming months to reduce that excessive oversteer. It's extraordinary to watch this section of film and imagine yourself one of the tiny handful of people who ever travelled in E1A. Over the coming months, E1A was developed and refined, and it is quite possible that the thoughts of the Le Mans 24-hour race were starting to pass through the minds of those involved in the project. At Silverstone, Norman Dewis carried out extensive testing in order to work at handling, stability and brake cooling, hence the cooling ducts at the rear of the car. Several of the features seen at this stage in E1A's evolution could just possibly have been to do with preparing the car in such a way that it could have been run at Le Mans if required, but that much is little more than conjecture. At some time before these track tests took place, or at least at a time when the car wasn't wearing the modifications shown here, the car was registered for the road where it proved to have the right sort of speed and composure, evident in these clips of film. Even though E1A was soon to be abandoned, the lessons learned must have been enormously beneficial on the road to the launch of the fabulous E-Type. Only these few seconds of colour footage exist from the late 1950s of the little pastel green prototype in action. March